and I'd like you to explain to me the ownership and management relationships between Berkshire Hathaway and Wesco. And since I may not understand the answer to that question, could you just tell me, is it possible that buying Wesco today at about $20 a share is like buying Berkshire Hathaway was 20 years ago?
Well, if you could buy Wesco today at $20 a share, you should buy all you can.
No,
Your pardon.
$200 a share.
200.
Yeah, Charlie is chairman of Wesco, and why don't you talk about it first, Charlie?
Wesco is 80% owned by Berkshire, and in terms of operating businesses now, it's got two, and it has an immense percentage of its net worth in marketable securities in its insurance subsidiary. It's a very quiet company, and as the chairman of Wesco, I have always delighted in saying that we have way less human value in the executive staff than Berkshire Hathaway does. It's a what is it Daniel Webster said about Dartmouth? He says, small school, but there are those who love her. Well, Wesco's a small place, and it's there in Berkshire as sort of an historical accident. But the main current of Berkshire is right here in the Berkshire shares.
I don't know which one I would rather buy at present prices. I mean, I think it's, you could flip a coin. It does not have dramatically better growth potential just because it happens to sell at $200 a share instead of $38,000 a share than Berkshire. I mean, I think the prospects probably are relatively close between the two. They're run by the same people pretty much. In effect, Charlie may spend a little more time on Wesco than I do, but they've got the same prospects. But one problem that Wesco would have is that if people, and this is not a huge problem, but if people want to do a share exchange deal, they're going to want to do it probably with Berkshire rather than Wesco. Wesco, if we had small acquisitions in fields we knew, Wesco's a logical place to put them unless they happen to be in areas that Berkshire's already in. And for the really large things, Berkshire can do them and Wesco can't. But there's nothing, I don't think there's anything significantly superior or inferior about investment in Wesco compared to Berkshire.
Well, the long-run record of Berkshire is better.
Yeah, the one thing that it is a mistake to think that just because it's cheaper per share on a dollar price that it's got way more potential or anything, because that just isn't the case. A very large percentage of Wesco's value is represented by its interest in Freddie Mac, and a very large percentage of Berkshire's interest is represented. Berkshire's value is represented by an interest in Coke, for example. So there's different emphasis between the two places. I think Wesco owns some Coke and Berkshire owns some Freddie, but in different proportions. That's an historical accident. We'd love to see them both do well. Obviously, there's another family that's in Wesco that we like a great deal, and we would hope that Wesco would perform as well or better than Berkshire. It's performed fine over the years, but it hasn't performed quite as well as Berkshire.